Let us continue standard deviation. Here the problem is the following table gives the distribution of wages in two branches of an industrial concern. State. First question is, which branch pays higher average wage? To answer the question, we have to compare X bar. Second one, which branch has greater variability in wages? For that, we have to compare coefficient of variation. Third one, what is the average monthly wage of the concern as a whole? For this, we have to calculate combined arithmetic mean. Okay. Now, here two sets of data are given. Monthly wages in rupees, then number of workers, under that branch A and branch B. Okay. Now, here variables are the same but frequencies are different. Means here there are two sets of data. Now, for this what you have to do? As usual, you have to calculate X bar, standard deviation, coefficient of variation separately for branch A and separately for branch B. Okay, these monthly wages variables are common for both the branches. Now take first branch A. Branch A. Now here you may observe variables are given in classes. Means there is a class interval. Both frequencies and class interval are given. Therefore, it is continuous series. Here, to find out X bar, we have to follow continuous series step deviation method. Then, standard deviation under continuous series, we have to calculate. To find out X bar, first we have to take the variables. Variables are monthly wages, monthly wages in rupees. Okay, under that it is 12,500 to 13,000, 13,000 to 13,500, 13,500 to 14,000, 14,000 to 14,500, 14,500 to 15,000. Now we have to take number of workers. Here it is branch A. Therefore, we have to consider the number of workers of branch A. That is 162, 210, 256, 200, 172. Total number of workers in branch A 1000, that is nothing but sigma F. Okay. This monthly wages we take as X and number of workers frequency F. Okay. Now, under continuous series, first we are here we have to find out X bar. To find out X bar under continuous series, first step is M. Second step we have to take A and C. Third step D. Fourth step FD. Then here we have to calculate even standard deviation. Therefore, we have to take FD square next. Then we have to calculate sixth one D bar. Next, seventh one we have to calculate X bar. Eighth one standard deviation and ninth one coefficient of variation. Okay. Now, next first step here is M. M is known to you mid value. Here mid value equals M equals upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. Upper limit 13,000 plus 12,500 divided by 2. It is 25,500 divided by 2. It comes to 12,750. 12,750. Now it is known to you, you may apply the same formula to calculate mid value of all the classes. On the other end, the shortcut method is whatever the common class interval, that class interval may be added to the previous mid value. Now, class interval is how much? Upper limit minus lower limit. 13,000 minus 12,500. Class interval is 500. That is common in all the classes. 12,750 plus 500. 13,250 plus 500. 13,750 plus 500. 14,250 plus 500. 14,750. To confirm, you calculate the last one. Here it is 15,000 plus 14,500 divided by 2. It is 29,500 divided by 2 equals 14,750. Okay. Now, first step is over. Second step is A and C. A means assume mean. Under continuous series, we take assume mean as one among these mid values. It is known to you, you may take middle one or corresponding to the highest frequency. Then you will get D, FD square values smaller, but we come across minus values as well as plus values. If you don't want minus values, then always we have to take first one as assume mean. Okay. Therefore, here we may take A. A equals 12,750. Then C, that is common class interval. Here common class interval is 500. Next step is D. D equals what is the formula? D equals M minus A divided by C. Now take M minus A in the place of A. Take 12,750 divided by C, common class interval 500. Corresponding to assume mean 0. Even if you apply this formula, you get the same answer. In the place of M, you have to take these each values of M, means this is nothing but deviation of these mid values from assume mean. 12,750 minus 12,750, 0 divided by 500, 0. 13,250 minus 12,750. We get 500. 500 divided by 500, 1. If you apply the formula, you get like that only. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Nice. Next step is FD. FD means what? F into D. You have to multiply these two. F 162 into 0. 210 into 1. 210. 256 into 2. 512. 200 into 3. 600. 172 into 4. It is 688. Now, next step is FD square. FD square means FD into D. We have to multiply these two. 0 into 0. 210 into 210. 512 into 2. 1024. 600 into 3. 1800. 688 into 4. 2752. Now, we need total of FD and FD square, that is sigma FD and sigma FD square. Okay. Now, take the total. 2010 sigma FD next FD square $5,786 sigma FD square. Now we have to calculate. Next step is D bar. Now calculate D bar. D bar equals sigma FD divided by sigma F. Sigma FD is how much? 2010 divided by sigma F is 1000. I have told you here shortcut method. Here 3 zeros are there. Here it is implied after 2010. After this 0 there is a decimal point. 3 zeros means you have to shift this decimal point 3 places left side. It comes to 2.010, that is D bar. Next we have to find out X bar. X bar equals A plus C D bar equals assume mean is 12,750 plus C common class interval is 500 into D bar 2.010 equals 12,750 plus 500 into 2.010, it comes to 1005 equals it is 13,755, that is X bar, that is the average wage of workers of branch A. Next calculate standard deviation. Standard deviation equals under continuous series square root of sigma FD square divided by sigma F minus D bar whole square into C equals square root of sigma FD square 5,786 divided by sigma F 1000 minus D bar is calculated 2.010 whole square into C. C refers to common class interval. Common class interval C is 500 equals square root of 5,786 divided by 1000, 3 zeros means you have to shift decimal point left side 3 places. It comes to 5.786 minus 2.010 whole square. 2.010 into 2.010 equals 4.0401 into 500 equals square root of 5.786 minus 5.786 minus 4.0401 equals 1.7459 okay into 500 equals remove the square root. It is 1.3213 into 500. 1.3213 into 500 equals 660.65. This is standard deviation. Now we have to find out coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation equals standard deviation divided by x bar into 100 equals standard deviation 660.65 divided by x bar 13,755 into 100 equals 660.5 divided by 13,755 into 100. It comes to 4.80%. Yes, 4.80%. Now it is of branch A. Okay. Now let us record these two informations. They are branch A. X bar is 13,755 and coefficient of variation 4.80%. Okay, let us have this. Now we have to calculate same x bar, standard deviation and coefficient of variation for branch B. Okay, now here take branch B and here number of workers will be changed. Okay. Now here number of workers. Now we have to take number of workers of branch B. Here take branch B. Monthly wages in rupees, same variables, no change in that. Here frequencies or number of workers 76, 100, 164, 108, 52. Total number of workers in branch B 500, that is nothing but sigma F. Okay. Now here variables are the same, therefore no change in mid values, same mid values, and let us take first one as assume mean, therefore no change in this D values or deviation of mid values from assume mean, same 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here D, FD and FD square will be changed because frequencies are different. Okay. Now FD means F into D, that is 76 into 0, 100 into 1, 164 into 2, 328, 108 into 3, 324, 52 into 4, that is 208. Now FD square means FD into D, 0 into 0, 100 into 1, 328 into 2, 324 into 3, 972. 208 into 4, 832. Now take the total of FD and FD square. (963) sigma FD, okay, sigma FD square, 2560. Okay, now find out D bar. D bar equals sigma FD divided by sigma F. Sigma FD is 960 divided by 1000, means it comes to 0.960, means 3 decimal points. Now shift this decimal point 3 places left side, 0.960. Otherwise you use calculator. Next, X bar equals A plus CD bar. A is same 12,750 plus C, common class interval 500, D bar 0.960. 12,750 plus 500 into 0.960, that is 480, equals 13,230. That is X bar. Now find out standard deviation. Standard deviation equals square root of sigma FD square divided by sigma F minus D bar whole square into C, equals square root of sigma FD square 2560 divided by sigma F. Here sorry, D bar. Here sigma F is changed. Now D bar sigma F is changed. D bar equals sigma FD divided by sigma F. Sigma FD is 960 divided by 500, not 1000. 1000, that is in case of branch A. Okay. Now (960) divided by 500 equals 1.92. 1.92 here. Now X bar equals A plus CD bar. A 12,750 plus 500 into D bar 1.92. Okay. Now 12,750 plus 500 into 1.92 equals 960, equals 13,710. Okay. $13,710 is X bar, that is average wage of worker of branch B. Now here take standard deviation. Sigma FD square 2560 divided by sigma F 500 minus D bar whole square. D bar is 1.92 whole square into C. Here it is common class interval 500. Here this 500 is sigma F. This C, that is common class interval, equals square root of 2560 divided by 500 it comes to 5.12 minus 1.92 into 1.92. It comes to 3.6864 into 500 equals square root of 5.12 minus 3.6864. It comes to 1.4336. Okay, into 500. Now, we have to remove the square root. It comes to 1.1973 into 500 equals 1.973 1.1973 into 500 equals 598.65. That is standard deviation. Now, you have to calculate coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation equals standard deviation divided by x bar into 100. That is standard deviation 598.65 divided by x bar 13,710 into 100 equals 598.65 divided by 13,710 into 100. It comes to 4.37%. 4.37%. Now, we have to answer the questions one by one. Okay. Now take branch A, branch B. Okay, x bar, coefficient of variation. Now, branch A x bar is how much? 13,755. Branch B x bar is 13,710. Then, coefficient of variation of branch A 4.80% and coefficient of variation of branch B 4.37%. Now, you have to answer the questions one by one. First one, which branch pays higher average wage? Here x bar is nothing but average wage. Average wage of branch A is how much? 13,755 and average wage of branch B 13,710. Which one is higher? Comparatively, this 13,755 is higher. Therefore, here what answer we have to write? In the place of which branch? Here you have to write branch A pays higher average wage because X bar of branch A is comparatively higher as shown above. Okay. Next, second question is, which branch has greater variability in wages? To answer that question, we have to compare coefficient of variation. It is known to you, higher the coefficient of variation, higher the variability. Higher the coefficient of variation, higher the variability. Here the question is, which branch has greater variability? Therefore, higher the coefficient of variation, higher the variability. Here comparatively, which one is higher? That is also branch A. 4.80, it is 4.37. Therefore, this one is higher. Therefore, here what we have to write? Branch A has greater variability in wages because coefficient of variation of branch A is comparatively higher as shown above. Okay. Next one, what is the average monthly wage of the concern as a whole? Here it is given, the following table gives the distribution of wages in two branches of an industrial concern. These are the two details of wage distribution of two branches separately. Now, average wage of branch A is 13,755 and average wage of branch B is 13,710 rupees. Now, we have to find out what is the average wage of the concern as a whole. Illi ನಮಗೆ ಮೂರು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇದು, ಯಾವ ಬ್ರಾಂಚು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆವರೇಜ್ ವೇಜನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬಾರ್ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬಾರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಆವರೇಜ್ ವೇಜ್. ಆವರೇಜ್ ವೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಎ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 13,755 ಇದೆ. ಬಿದು 13,710 ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಎದು ಆವರೇಜ್ ವೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇದೆ, ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಎ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು, ಯಾವ ಬ್ರಾಂಚು ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ಅವರು ವೇಜಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಯಾವ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ದು ವೇಜಸ್ ಆವರೇಜ್ ವೇಜಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು, ಯಾವ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ದು ವೇಜಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಹೈಯರ್ ದಿ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್, ಹೈಯರ್ ದಿ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ. ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ, ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ. ಅದೇ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ, ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮಿಟಿ, ಅದು ಮೂರೂ ಒಂದೇ, ಒನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಬಂದಾಗ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ, ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಚ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇನ್ ವೇಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಗ ಯಾವುದು ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ದು ವೇಜಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆರಡು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದಿದೆ? ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಎದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇದೆ. ಆಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಎ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇನ್ ವೇಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ನು, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ವೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಎ ಹೋಲ್? ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಈ ವೇಜ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ದು ಎರಡು ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ದು. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಎ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ದು ಆವರೇಜ್ ವೇಜ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಬಿ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ದು ಆವರೇಜ್ ವೇಜ್ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಮೂರನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ, ಆ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿದು ಹೋಲ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ದು ಆವರೇಜ್ ವೇಜ್ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ, ಇವೆರಡೂ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಎ ಮತ್ತು ಬಿನ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಆವರೇಜ್ ವೇಜ್ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಾಗಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇವೆರಡೂ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 2 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಿಸ್ಲೇನಿಯಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಮೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೀನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಫಾರ್ ಡಿನೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬಾರ್ ಎಕೋಸ್ n1 x bar 1 plus n2 x bar 2 divided by n1 plus n2. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ 2 ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾನ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ. 3 ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದುವರಿಯುತ್ತೆ. n3 x bar 3 ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ n1 ಪ್ಲಸ್ n2 ಪ್ಲಸ್ n3. ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಆ ವಿಡಿಯೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ n1 ಯಾವುದಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್, ಟೋಟಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಎ. ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ n1. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ n1 equals total number of workers of branch A 1000. Then n2 total number of workers of branch B 500. Then x bar 1 that is average wage of branch A, that is x bar 1 13,755. X bar 2 average wage of branch B, that is x bar of branch B 13,710. Okay, now apply this formula. n1 1000 into n1 x bar 1 means n1 into x bar 1. X bar 1 13,755 plus n2 500 into x bar 2 13,710 divided by n1 1000 plus n2 500 equals 1000 into 13,755. Just we have to add 3 more zeros. 13755. You add 3 zeros. It comes to 1,37,55,000 plus 500 into 13,710. It comes to 68,55,000. 68,55,000 divided by 1000 plus 500, 1500. Okay. Now, one crore 37,55,000 plus 68,55,000 equals 2 crore 6,10,000 divided by 1,500. Okay, equals 2 crore 6,10,000 divided by 1,500 equals 13,740 rupees. This is the average monthly wage of the concern as a whole. You have to write the average monthly wage of the concern as a whole is 13,740 rupees. That you have to write. Okay. The average monthly wages of the concern as a whole is 13,740 rupees. Like this you have to answer this. problem or these type of questions. Okay. Now ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಾಟಾನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಆರ್ ಅನ್ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಡ್ ಡಾಟಾ, ಅಂಡರ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಡ್ ಡಾಟಾ, ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸೀರೀಸ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೀಗೆ 2 sets ಆಫ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಈಗ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕವರ್ಡ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದನ್ನೇ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, 2 sets ಆಫ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿವ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆಗ 2 sets ಆಫ್ ಡಾಟಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಸಪ್ರೇಟಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ನೀವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ವೇಜ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಹೈಯರ್ ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಜ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ರೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಓವರ್ ಹೆಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದು ಇರುತ್ತೋ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬಾರ್ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅರ್ಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೀನ್ನ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆರ್ ಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ, ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮಿಟಿ ಅದು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಜಸ್ಸೇ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಈವನ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಲ್ಪ್ ಅಂತ ಕೆಲವು ಟೈಮು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈವನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಎರಡೂ ಒಂದೇ, ಅದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ವೇರಿಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದೇ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ, ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮಿಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಇದು ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮಿಟಿ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿ, ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮಿಟಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.